I'm here at a secret Nintendo event in Paris, getting a hands-on on the Nintendo Switch 2 2 months before it goes to the public, and here's what I reckon. Okay, here's the big moment, the actual Switch 2. What does it look like, and what does it feel like? It feels good. I mean, it feels nice, gentle in the hands. It feels, to be honest with you, a lot like a Switch does, which seems to be the big message Nintendo is sending. It's a Switch, but better, a bit bigger, a bit more powerful. And when you're actually looking at it, what's new about this? Not much, right? I mean, if you look at this, you'd be thinking, isn't that just a Switch? The only telltale sign to Switch 2, really, is it's got this C button here, which has some kind of chat functionality. We don't know too much more about it yet. If you actually look on the bottom, you've got the USB-C port as with the original Switch, but on the top, you've got a USB-C port here as well, and we actually know what Nintendo want you to use this thing for now. They've got the camera plugged into it when you're doing the chat functionality. We have a stand right here on the bottom, which comes out, and I'm watching light nods from those around me saying, yes, I am allowed to do this. The stand, much bigger than the one on the original Switch. Obviously, this is going to be sturdier. Clearly, that's a benefit in kind. But otherwise, very similar stuff. Okay, so that's the console. We all know we're here for, though, right? It's the games. How do they play? How do they look? Here's what I reckon. I mean, check out Mario Kart World. This thing is visually beautiful. It looks so good. The big expansive worlds, everything in there looks amazing. But of course, there is a big topic, isn't there? The price. As much as the games look good, as much as the games play good, it all comes down to pennies and pounds, dollars and cents, yen. And this thing is not cheap. There's no question. Maybe the console itself, if you compare to other consoles on the market and the way prices have been going, the console itself seems to be perhaps more reasonable, but the actual price of the games are pushing the boundary. If you'd like a physical edition of Mario Kart World, you're going to have to part with £75 of your own money. I mean, that is really higher than games that we've seen go before. Of course, that's not the only way of buying that game, but it does also raise a question as to whether Nintendo is perhaps confusing the market just a little bit, because there's actually lots of different prices you can pay for the same games. Let me explain. So you can get a physical copy of Mario Kart World for £74.99, or a digital copy is £66.99. But if you get it bundled with the Switch 2 console, and let's be fair, I think most people probably will, that's only £34.99 as part of the bundle. And the pricing, it gets a little bit weirder elsewhere. Do you remember the $66.99 digital cost of Mario Kart World? Well, that's the same physical cost of Donkey Kong Bonanza when that one comes out. And the digital cost of Donkey Kong is £58.99. Is that all a little bit confusing? Well, I think that's an issue for Nintendo and something they're going to really have to get their heads around. Besides all of that, when it actually comes to the retailers, they'll pick their price anyway. So this is what Nintendo is selling for on their own store. But with competition, as you would hope, you'll probably see over time different discounts and different prices and perhaps some more round figures. We're also making this judgment based on what we know now. Only 2 games we actually know the price of. Maybe third-party games will be a lot less. Maybe some will be a lot more. And while we're questioning Nintendo's prices right now, let's remember there are a heck of a lot of rumours swirling around what Grand Theft Auto 6 will cost when that comes out later this year. Although, let's just put this on Front Street. No suggestion. We do not suggest here that we think it's going to Switch to. Nobody knows. That would be a coup though, wouldn't it? How about Metroid Prime 4? Look at this game. You can play it with a mouse just swirling your hand. You can play it pointing at the screen. The variety is what makes it exciting. Civilization 7, another game you can play just like with the mouse, though I did think when I had my hands on it, it's pretty cool I'm playing it, just moving my hand around like a mouse, but also, why am I not just playing Civ 7 on my PC if I'm going to play a game like this? Cyberpunk 2077 looks really good on the Switch 2. Of course, it doesn't look as good as it does on the PlayStation 5, let alone the PlayStation 5 Pro, but you wouldn't expect that. Obviously, the hook here is you can take it with you portably. I remember a lot of people rebought games they already owned to have them on the Switch so that you could bring them with you on the go as well. So possibly Nintendo is going to hope it gets that bit of the market too. Drag X Drive. This game, okay, it's like wheelchair basketball, the simulator, but the future, and dystopia. And you can roll these things like this. One thing I didn't show you there, which I only found out after I left the booth, annoyingly, is you can also rub the controllers on your knees. But actually, if I'm being really honest, I actually did know that. It's just that I practiced it, and I thought that the visual of me rubbing my thighs with these controllers is too weird for me to put on television or on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. No thigh rubbing gameplay from me. But pushing these controllers on the table was a bit of a workout, actually, kind of surprisingly. And I did wonder about the pressure it was putting on my palms, whether that'd get a bit too much for me. And Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is the game which is like the destruction simulator. You're running around bashing literally everything. The guy said when I was playing it to me, this game you can destruct most things. In the tutorial level, I did notice there were like these iron girders you couldn't get past. I guess basically the barrier at the end of the levels. But everything else you could just destroy. He just runs upwards, destroying everything above him, and downwards, destroying below. And doesn't it look a bit like Mario Odyssey? I'm not saying it's built on the same engine, but doesn't it just look a lot like it? When you die, you lose gold, much like you lose coins in Mario when you die. And then also you can speak to the people, they like exclamation marks above their head. You're getting big bananas rather than big moons, but it all seems. And I know that currency can be spent in shops, and I did ask the person who told me he thought that was to get different outfits, though I'm not sure if he was meant to say that. And thus concluded my time with Nintendo Switch 2 in Paris. I thought, what a great thing to have. I thought the console felt so good when I was holding it. It really felt comfortable, ergonomics. It felt right. It may look big, but I think it feels about how you would hope it would. I'm sure it has the same problem with Switch and the Steam Deck have, in that after you play it for a little bit of time, your wrists get a bit tired. I thought it was great to get my hands on the console and play these games. There's no question in my mind, as a big gamer and a big old nerd, that Metroid Prime will be a really, really good game, as will Mario Kart World. The different modes on show in that game, the knockout tournament, the free riding, I thought all of that is definitely going to grab people's attention for a long time. But the question, as with anything, is the price. Will it be another 3DS situation, where after a few months Nintendo decides maybe these sales aren't quite what we want, so we'll drop the price? Or is it actually just the fact that 150 million people bought a Switch? They're definitely going to get enough people buying a Switch too. I don't know which one it's going to be, but we'll find out when June rolls around.